Good morning, everyone. It is 8:10 a.m. here in Chicago, so quite early for me. As you guys know, I'm staying home until tomorrow, right? I go back to work tomorrow. So we have a lot to cover today because, look, if you have been watching the news, then you know what just happened in Madison, Wisconsin, right? So Madison, Wisconsin is not that far from me, right? It's not that far from downtown Chicago, maybe a few hours. So it's pretty close to home, right? So we have Samantha Rupno, 15 years old, Christian school, just taking her classmates and teachers out. And then we have, of course, Luigi Mangione, who is accused of and charged with taking out the CEO, but also, guys, he is being charged for terrorism, right? I'm going to get into that because this can get very political very quickly, right? I want to know your guys' opinions. Do you agree with the charge for terrorism for Luigi Mangione? We know that he's still in custody at a Pennsylvania state prison, right? So I'm just going to give you guys a couple of minutes to join me because I also have the alleged manifesto of Samantha Rupno, this 15-year-old girl who took out her classmates and her teacher. Cops say that they don't know if this is actually her documents. They don't know who spread it around. Either way, I'm going to read it to you guys because it's very different from the manifesto that we were shown supposedly belonged to Luigi, right? Why are they calling Luigi's a manifesto? It's like a paragraph long. This one here that is supposed to be a manifesto coming from Samantha, this school shooter, is very telling. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. And I know, yeah, this isn't true crime, but at the end of the day, this is my channel and I kind of talk about things that I think are important to talk about, things that are going on in the country. It's crazy. Like, as Americans, I think that most of us, especially if we have kids, guys, we're fed up with this. We don't want to feel like our kids are in danger, right? Of having to go to school, and the response to solving this issue, this very American issue. In fact, countries joke about us, right? Because we know that this is something that happens very often. This is something you don't hear happening in other places. So there are two camps of people, right? There's usually people that are like, you need to ban all of the weapons, right? You need to ban all of the weapons. And then there's another camp that says, you know what? That's not really going to do anything, because at the end of the day, if kids are unstable enough, are mentally disturbed enough, they could find other ways, right? For example, cooking utensils, right? Like people do in Spain. A lot of when I lived in Spain, a lot of the locals would be like, "Oh my gosh, you Americans and your school shootings," but they have like shankings everywhere, right? Oftentimes with kitchen utensils. So just gonna wait a couple of minutes for you guys to join me in the chat. I have a hot chocolate here. It's a Mexican hot chocolate. It was actually ground like by a Mexican lady, like ground on a stone. And I did make it the traditional way, which is with water. I know it's not as rich as American hot cocoa. And then I did put a little bit of cayenne. So that's how the Mayans and Aztecs used to drink it. So if you've ever had a hot chocolate with cayenne pepper, let me know, because it's not the tastiest. It tastes very good, but it just does something to your brain. I don't know what it is. It feels alive. It feels awake. So cheers. Okay, I see some of you guys are already in here. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Chantal. I feel like I always mess up your name. Chantal. It's Chantal, right? The Aztecs knew. Heck yes, girlfriend. Hi, Lisa. Yes, thank you, Lisa. Lisa's always so supportive. Lisa, she says, P.S. for someone who has COVID, you look absolutely amazing. What is your secret? Because I look like crap and I have COVID for weeks. I basically get it like every few months because I work one of my jobs is to work with children. So I feel like that kind of makes you somewhat immune, right? Hi, Ralph. And it wasn't that bad. It's like every time I get it, it's not as bad, right? Your body eventually gets used to it. And of course, for me, guys, honestly, eat a lot of calories. Eat a lot of calories. I know a lot of people, it's very trendy to fast. I'm the opposite camp. When I'm sick, if I have an appetite, I eat a lot of calories. Of course, food that is as much as I can. I try to make it rich in micronutrients. You can track all that in like an app like Chronometer. Make sure that you're trying to hit the RDAs, and that really boosts your immune system, right? When you were eating enough. So a lot of people don't want to hear it because they just don't want to eat, but that always helps me. So let's get into this, right? Let me know in the chat, guys, since you guys are already here. Let me know, what do you think about Luigi getting charged for terrorism? Because I have my very own, very biased thoughts on that, right? We have this young 15-year-old girl in Madison, Wisconsin, Christian school, takes out, was it 2 or 3 people? I think she took out a couple classmates and a teacher. Look, she took herself out too, right? So they can't charge her with anything, but we have seen this enough, especially if you live in America or if you watch American news. This isn't new to us, and I've yet to see any school shooters be charged for terrorism. Why are they not being charged for terrorism? But here we have Luigi, who is accused of taking out a CEO. It's like you take one CEO out and they're like, oh my God, that is a threat to America. What the actual fudge, right? What the actual fudge? Is that right? I think that is the way that the elite, that the wealthy are signaling to us average Americans that, look, if you're going to try to take a CEO out, you're going to be charged to the fullest extent of the law, right? We're going to use our money and power to take you out. But they don't give a damn when it's our children taking out by cuckoo children in schools. They're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, right? That's exactly what has happened. So I just want to read this. Supposedly, this is a manifesto that was left by Samantha. Why does everybody have a manifesto now? Again, in my opinion, this is more of a manifesto, if it actually belongs to Samantha, than the one that was found on Luigi, right? Allegedly. Because this was actually quite detailed. And we're going to get into this because, again, look, sure, you can take weapons off the street. That's fine. They don't even know how this girl got the weapon. A lot of people speculated that it was her father's, that it belonged to her father, because she had been seen practicing before, right? At like a range. And now they're saying, oh, it did not belong to the father. They're trying to track it, trace it. They don't know where it came from. So my introduction of myself. My name is Samantha Rupno. I was born on November 7th, 2009, exactly 2 years after Pekka's attack. Incredible, am I right? Nobody knows I'm doing this. I got the weapons by lies and manipulation and my father's stupidity. I planned on shooting myself a while ago, but thought maybe it's better for evolution rather than just one stupid, boring suicide, which hopefully I'll reach that point. I've planned this myself and nobody else. I act alone. Why are they all saying, all these manifestos are saying like they act alone? Like, I don't know. There would have been no way to change what happened. I can't, and you will never know. You never care too much to know about anything about me. I'm glad you don't know. I've always been a quiet kid, I'd say, or at least that's what everybody else around me has said, and never really had the brains for most things because I wasn't smart enough for people around me, even though I'm good at science and some stuff. Nobody looked at me in a good way in elementary or middle school, nor even high school right now. Doesn't matter much because I like being alone. Sometimes I just hate being picked on, but yet I mourn for friends, but sooner than later they'll leave. My therapist sucks. He's just some weak and fat guy who doesn't deserve anything he has now. Nobody deserves anything good. Rude. My so-called family never included me because I was too weird for them. My father never treated me with respect. Ooh. My father will always make me stand out in the worst possible way, yet bring up how I fail school or can't get out of bed simply because I don't want to leave. He makes me look like a freak to his family and friends. He says so much, but look at his bad side. My parents divorced quite a few times. Quite a few times. Which didn't help me at all, but not did it really affect me. It just made me a little lonely because nobody was there for me and never really has. My mother tried ODing when I was around 12 or something. I don't care if she would have survived or died from it, but yet she was still there. Doesn't mean she was actually in my life. I see my parents as failures for everything they've done to me and just kind of effing with my life. There never was helpful advice given to me. It was all bullshit. The world itself is bullshit, to be fair, though. So why should I or you see so much in it? I've never really liked my father, to be exact, because honestly, why should I? Our hate is mutual to each other. He will never see me as his daughter. He will never love me like he loved his ex or her kids or even alcohol. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore because nobody heard me out and just made fun of me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. This is painful to read, right? This is a 15-year-old girl at a Christian school. I've been trapped and forced into my corner. I hate this corner that I'm stuck in. I hate humanity for forcing me into this little hole. I once had this time when I was young. You made me dig for so long and now I can't leave it, but only look up to your smiles laughing at me. I honestly don't remember how old I was. I know I was young, but yet I remember everything that still happened because it happens every once in a while. Never have I once brought this up to a therapist, anyone, because nobody cared at the time, nor will now. Interesting. What is she talking about? I saw things around me and I laid on the floor, not being able to move. I was overwhelmed and tired, hard breathed. Things around me felt bigger than usual and I was faint. Once in a while, I get that same feeling, just I know how to control it. That one night, I begged for my mother to help me because she was in the room next to me in her apartment where she was with her boyfriend, awake, because all I heard was her walking right past me and my room. I was the wrong child of the family. My parents admit they didn't want me. That's sick. Nor never did, even if I've grown. I'm always the one who sat out in another room because they didn't want to interact with me at any point in time. Then I stayed in my room all day, during the day and night, and after and before school as well. So, this is long. She has a lot to say. Doesn't help that school was a pain in my ass while getting teased and pushed around. I always got picked on for being out of pocket, as if the quietness was out of pocket for them and just too odd or something. I moved schools. What's already happening? Picked on again, just not any worse. I know this will happen anywhere and any time in my life, but it's annoying. I'm starting to realize you will all die and perish and be forgotten in 20 years or less. Your family will think you're a disappointment, as the hate I have for you now isn't enough. I want to hate to tear you apart, but yet won't happen because you are the reason hate is a thing and will always continue to be a thing. I am not hate. I am simply pointing this out. You and the system will always suck. Therefore, we need revolution. Nobody understands that, though, nor do people understand the fact that they probably sat next to me in class and never thought a single word about me, nor ever really thought to. I don't really care, though, to be honest. Nobody really has. The wolf hunts its prey and continues life with no other bruises or scars. There is no predator or prey anymore. It is all filth walking. There's nothing more with filth. It simply cannot die or make hunts real if only they want is value. Finally, one learns that boredom is a disease of civilization. Wow. And she keeps going. Let's see. This portion is called War Against Humanity, the creation of a disaster and why it is so unfair. Hatred, something everyone has gotten in a sense. Some people think it's pure, nothing but because of the hate they make. It ends up killing them without knowing, which go right ahead, I don't mind, but kind of do at the same time. You're just simply nothing but scum to this world, or even think about, nobody should want you or your body in any way. I hate seeing people on a daily basis just being so sensitive. Gives me one more reason to take off my glasses. The human scum is color and the people are raised. And the way the people are raised. I've grown around people who do not care or give one single care in the world and smoke their lungs out with weed or drink as much as they can, like my own father. I've grown to, she's calling him out. I've grown to hate people in society. It's truly not my fault though. It never was. But all of you in the world have done is pick and tease me. You've pushed me into a corner with no help whatsoever. Humanity is filth and I don't like filth, nor want to live in it, nor should anyone else. And I know it follows me and how it has followed me and will always follow everyone because of how the world is run. There were so many things I wanted to do as a kid, yet I can admit I was afraid of the other kids and also even with my own parents. But I don't even trust them, and at that age as well, I didn't and never will. My parents are scum. There's nothing that will save them to make me think good of them ever again. No family to ever trust and to never trust society. There's two people and only two people I will trust. One partially and one I would never doubt. Who are those two people? Who are those two people? I can agree that I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but neither did my parents or anyone around me. I have changed and will not go back to that ever again. I'm hardened and I'm different. This situation and the situation of a lifetime is get the fuck out moment and don't come back. I will never go back and nag my way through life. It's not even my fault though, it's everyone else's. It has to be theirs and not mine. It's pure idiotic from people to cause this, but it's a good thing and this happens. It always is, and there will always be a reason for this and reasons for other shootings unless it's some Indian guy who wanted to blow up just for the fun of it, which is what those people do. I find that a bit funny. Not really funny to the point I laugh my ass off, but still, maybe you get the point here. Or maybe you don't, and I think I might be crazy. Maybe you'll see me as a weirdo, a freak, just as some of you do now, but I am not. I am not like the others. I would never even want to be like them with how they think and what they do on a simple day. I hate how the population thinks, grows, and talks and how they make romance fake. If only some days we could do a public execution, that would be gladly needed. I wouldn't mind throwing some stones at idiots or even watching from the back when they get hanged. Oh my. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Okay. One more page, guys. This one is titled Revolution and Population. What do you guys think of this so far? Because it's a little disturbing. It's a little disturbing to watch, well, to hear what a 15-year-old had like going on in her mind. Like, she's 15. And again, this is an age where like it's already difficult as is. Like, you could have the most supportive family, the most supportive friends, father, mother figures, and still struggle through puberty because it's a tough age, right? Everything is changing. You're changing. Your hormones are probably out of whack. But if you don't have those people around you to support you through those tough times, who do you rely on? And this is a conversation that a lot of Americans don't want to have. A lot of Americans, we want to just say, you know what? Let's just ban the weapons. Like, it's going to fix the problem. But remember, when people are that disturbed, they could go anywhere else and find another weapon, right? Like, again, are we going to ban kitchen utensils? Is that the solution? Are we going to ban all pointy objects? Is that the solution? Or is the solution a much deeper problem that we have to look at? Like homes, families falling apart, people being divorced 3-4 times. I don't know how many times her parents were divorced. And I'm not blaming the parents either, right? But I'm saying that instability, when you have like 4 moms, 4 dads, like this girl, from what I have read, had to go back and forth throughout the week. Like, she would spend like 2 days here, three days there, 2 days here. Do you think that that is stability for a young teenage girl? That's chaotic, right? That's unstable. And then she mentions that her father and her mother had issues, right? Like drinking issues, smoking issues, using these substances. And what it sounds like she was maybe having some sort of panic attack when she was on the floor, being unable to breathe or felt like she was not breathing, that her mother passed right by her. How many times did this happen? Did the mother just not see her, or did the mother just choose to ignore her? Or did the mother not see her because she was under the influence of some substance? Anyway, this last portion called revolution and population. The revolution should be well, the population should be well, but it's not and never will be, and I want to change that, but will I truly? The population of scum has been worked on over the years, and as it did during the wars and fighting over what should be right and wrong, the sick people will dissolve into dust and be forgotten about. You will ruin the human population and turn into whores of filth and beings that shouldn't live. Whores and scum are things I hate the most and will always hate. You have no meaning. You and your parents should be hanged in front of everyone. Oh, wow. Then she said the N-word, Niggers, the worst. Once you sleep with one, you are one. Did she hear this at home? Because I feel like most kids that use this N-word with the hard R are probably coming from a home that does the same, right? I don't care who you think you are or what you've done good of this world of yours. It will never matter because you will always have no thought and no brain to continue with. I hate looking at some of the people in the society and seeing what they are and what they do with their lives. Like, how does one do that? But I know of out of scum and just pure retardedness. I'm glad to be different and not the same as other people. I know how to be formal. I know how to use my words. Even if I can get mad at you, there has always been a reason, whether or not I despise you or just because I can. Some of you guys really do deserve the execution punishment. Rather painful or not, you deserve the dead, to be dead. But yet, doesn't this whole world deserve that? The main target has been anyone with some sort of feeling or being of knowing any action to turn you wrong and left rather than right and the better. Either way, I will always hate humanity and will never be overruled. If someday it's so overruled that I shall never see the day, and knowing how this world is and how everyone is scum and filth, nobody will ever overrule it and everyone will be some worthless thing. Just sounds like she has hate for all of humanity, right? Like, and let me tell you, like, when you see this, when you see people like hating all of humanity like this, it's usually people that have been through a lot, right? Like, most people, we understand that humanity is not perfect. We have a lot of issues, but to actually hate like every single human being and to be saying that nobody deserves to be alive, it's like, she's traumatized. That's severe trauma right there. She says, out of all the serious talk, how everyone forces either religion on others, or how some people just disobey the right from wrong, or using the right for the worse. This is very interesting to me, right? How everyone forces either religion on others. Interesting because she was going to a Christian school. Was she being forced to go into this Christian school? Maybe was she non-religious and then her parents were forcing her to attend this school? Maybe what I'm simply doing is not wrong one single bit. Maybe sure to some people due to harmful studies, according to some people, the hate I get and the hate you get is mutual. You hate me and I will always hate you as well, no matter what you've done to me, but you will always have a little place of hate. I don't care what you think though, nor would I really ever. I'd rather be dead than sit in a room all day, no matter if it's school, work, or even my own room. Even if I like being alone, I will never be like anyone else in my mind. And then says something about being a part of a great revolution. And wow. Then she has pictures attached, right, of previous school shooters. She's praising them, saying she had close birthdays to them. She's calling them ultimate saints. Somebody I was inspired by. Maybe I didn't know him, but what stops me, what would have stopped him from doing what was right and now proven to be true, form of being and of simple hope. Okay, so she's obviously like, she obviously has issues. She obviously felt and probably did not have anybody to rely on. She's talking about, again, her parents being out of the picture, being married multiple times, like that is chaotic, guys. Ask the hard questions. Ask the hard questions. Don't go straight into banning everything, right? Oh, let's ban books. Let's ban this. Let's ban that. You know, let's ban the internet. Why aren't we looking at the problems? Why aren't we looking at the root issues? Homes falling apart, parents not being present, parents using substances to, like this girl said, to be there, right? Her parents, her mother was there, physically there. But just because you're physically there doesn't mean you're actually parenting, right? So things like that people don't want to talk about because it's too messy. It's too messy. They just rather would ban books or weapons. So, school shooters. And again, this one, she took herself out. Deleted herself right out of the planet. Right? Sad to know that a 15-year-old went out, took other people out, but went out with so much hate and with no love from anybody around her. I personally want to know who are those two people that she says she trusts, because obviously it was not mom or dad. Who are these two people that she was trusting? And is it possible that these two people that she was trusting were not teaching her healthy things, good things? Because this is what happens, guys. If you have children, and maybe your children are already grown, but if you have children and you are not present, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go find that presence, that love from anybody else that offers it to them, right? And a lot of the times, the people offering that love to the children are evil, right? They're brainwashing your kids. They're taking advantage of them. Sometimes kids don't trust family members, but they'll trust, like, I don't know, a friend. Or you have to be very careful. If you are choosing to bring children into this planet, you better be a present parent. Otherwise, just don't. Just don't have children, right? If you're never going to be around, if you're not going to be raising people who are healthy mentally or physically, just don't have kids, right? That's like getting a pet and making, like, you don't feed it, you don't take it to the doctor, you don't play with it, you don't walk him, he's in a crate all day, right? Don't have kids, don't have pets. Also, this extends to pets because I love animals too. Don't, right? And again, this is not me blaming the parents, but why did this child, this 15-year-old child, how did she get access to this firearm? Was her father an idiot? Because she did say in that document I just read that her father was an idiot and that she lied and manipulated. So did her father have this weapon? And did he forget to put it back where it belonged? Or was he drinking or smoking weed when he gave it to her, if he gave it to her? I don't know, man. This is sick. Either way, we have so many shootings here. It's become a world joke. It's a running joke, right? And what happens? Nothing happens, right? Yeah, these kids get charged with whatever, but I've never seen one recently to be charged with the charge that Luigi Mangione got. Why is that? Why do you guys think that is? Because I'm going to tell you why I think that is. I think it's because the people at the top are afraid, right? They have us fighting each other, guys. They, I mean the wealthy people. I mean the people who run this country, right? United, for example, who donated $10 billion last year to help change our political policies, our laws. $10 billion. They run the country. They, not just United, they, all these massive corporations at the top. And they want us to fight each other, right? Because if we fight each other with stupid things like right versus left, women versus men, we forget to look at the top, right? They don't want us to look top to bottom, bottom to top. They don't want us questioning that way, because they know a lot of us get easily distracted and just fight each other instead. Let's see if I can find some of the comments I had seen here talking about what people thought about this whole Luigi getting charged with terrorism. Let's check out the chat. Wow, there's a lot of people in the chat. How many total people in here? 44. Okay, give it a like. If you're in here, give it a like. My name is Ralph. AI is real. Sure is. And algorithms can target individuals. They sure can. They sure can. And I can see it, right? When I talk about very touchy subjects. That's why we have to go around and change like certain words in the title. That's why I spelled that word that way in the title, because some of us are targeted by AI, right? That's how the algorithm works. Yes. Chantal says Dana Elkins looks much more like the photos from the hostel. So true. Hoppers. Hi, Hoppers. How's it going? Lisa. Terrorism is ridiculous. Your legal cases in the US are bad at the moment. Oh yeah, they are horrific. Lisa, I'm just wondering where you are from. Are you from Australia? Because a lot of people that I have talked to, friends even that are living in Australia, they're like, what is going on? Like, you guys are always bragging about how, freedom of speech, this and that. And now we have Brianna arrested for saying 3 freaking words, right? She said 3 words, right? And that triggered the insurance company. And I understand, part of me understands, right? Because yeah, if you're working there and we know what just happened in New York, like with the CEO, yeah, you're going to be a little bit afraid, right? It should probably be reported in case another person tries to target, like, just like a regular worker. But still, you have to understand that companies like United are allowed to do horrible things, like actually act on those 3 words and unalive people using AI, and they're not held accountable for that, right? If anything, I feel like we should be charging United Healthcare with they're terrorists, are they not? Lisa says, if people want to commit suicide, it's a terrible thing, but they don't need to take others with them. Yeah, it's just sad all around. But I do agree with Chantal saying that it sounds like everybody failed her. It is sad. In this Christian school, look, I'm not going to get into religion, right? You're a Christian school. Like, what the hell were they doing? Not paying attention to this girl getting bullied at school. I'm sorry, but like, if you're a true Christian, you should be calling out those bullies, right? We know that a lot of these shooters have been heavily bullied, right? So you're going through puberty, you have really no mom or dad that are actually present in your life. And then on top of that, you're getting bullied. And we know that bullying, guys, it's not like when me and you were kids, like if you got bullied at school, that's where it stopped. Nowadays, you're getting bullied at school and then it follows you home because of social media, because kids are on Snapchat or whatever, social media, right? So it's constant pressure for a young teenage person. Like, you don't get a break, basically. And then normally, even if you're bullied at home, um, while you're on social media, or you're bullied at school and your teachers are not present, normally a healthy adult figure will step in and be like, all right, what's going on? You're acting strange. Is everything okay, honey? Is everything going okay at school? Is there something you want to talk to me about? That's how my parents were. If I came home and I was a little bit different that day, they would ask questions. They were very involved parents. So parents need to get involved. Everybody failed her. Teachers, where were the teachers? Your job as a teacher is not to only teach. And I'm telling you this because I tutor children, right? And when I tutor children, same. If I notice a change in these children, in their moods or their demeanor, I'm going to ask questions, because a lot of the times these children do not trust their mothers or fathers, or they have mothers and fathers with an ex-girlfriend and an ex-wife and another girlfriend, and now they're meeting mom's new boyfriend. Like, they don't trust these people, right? So if you're an adult with young people in your life who are struggling, like, be there for them, right? Even if it's just asking a question, because that can really make or break a person and what they do. Don't be a person that also fails a child, right? Was she SA? Her parents ignored in CPS? Honestly, when I was reading just now, this is the first time I've read it fully, right, in front of you guys. There is that portion. There was that portion where she's talking about things happening and that she couldn't really trust anyone. I'm like, what was she talking about? Could that be SA? Could that have been SA? And the racist undertones are very concerning, right? David says, I would like to know what drugs, if any, she was on. Same, I would also like to know that, because we know also that, like, statistically speaking, a lot of these school shooters have been bullied and they're usually on some sort of medication. David, thank you for letting me that there was a knife attack in Seattle last night. Exactly, right? So that's what I'm saying, guys. We have to get to the root cause of our problems as a country, like banning knives. What's next? Banning forks? Are we gonna end up with sporks? Like, talk about this stuff, right? I don't know. Definitely the substance. David, I also did see that in one of those pictures, she was wearing the same t-shirt as the Columbine killer. Owen, hi, good morning, Owen. How are you doing today? Owen tells us that United Health stock is up 3.56% this morning. Wow. David, the one truth of life is no one makes it out alive. Exactly. No one makes it out alive. So you might as well be nice. You might as well be nice. You might as well enjoy the ride. But it's easy for me to say, right? I had very loving parents, very involved parents, and very involved family members as well. Like, my aunts were like very involved. They were always helping me with my math homework, and not everybody is that blessed, right? So imagine you're 15, you already feel alone in the world, and then not having people around you that love you or that show love. Maybe they did love her, maybe they just don't know how to show it. Look at her baby pics. That's no demon. She's a kid. Okay. It's sad, you know. It's sad. This is not something that, at the end of the day, lives are still lost, right? A young child with no family, and I'm not justifying what she did, but again, I want to know, where were the teachers? Because the parents see children for, I don't know, like, what do you see your children for, like 4 hours a day? Like, teachers spend more time with people's children than actual parents do, right? Most parents see their children from, like, I don't know, 4 p.m. to like 8 p.m., maybe 9 p.m. if that's like a very late bedtime for a lot of kids. Teachers see students for 8 hours. And this was a Christian school. Where are these Christians, right? I consider myself a religious person, but it's kind of hypocritical, in my opinion, I identify as a religious person, to not call people out. How are you not going to call people out? How are you not going to call these kids out? I'm supposed to believe that you guys never noticed, the teachers never noticed that there was something off about this student? You never noticed that she was quiet, alone in a corner? And I know personally I am very perceptive, right? Like, my training in psychology obviously was quite helpful. But for me, and I know I've told this story on here before, right? When I was in the Navy, going to Corps school, because I was going to be a corpsman, there was the guy, I remember him, I don't remember his name. I remember he had bright red hair, pale skin, bright, beautiful red freckles, and everybody bullied this guy. Everybody bullied him, okay? And I was like, I don't understand. Why are they mean to him? Because he was a nice guy. He was a little bit awkward, but I'm a little bit awkward. And they would just pick on him for no reason, right? Towards the end of core school, the professor, I say professor because he's like a military instructor, went up to him and apparently talked to him, right? And he like broke down, allegedly, I wasn't there, and they found a kill list, right? And everybody was on that kill list except for me and the professor, right? And I was like, oh my God. But at the same time, it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me that this guy would have a kill list, because hello, everybody in the classroom is freaking bullying this guy for no reason. Sweetest guy ever. Sometimes the people that are very, very nice, like, they don't know how to set boundaries. They're like too nice, which just leaves people opening themselves up to being taken advantage of, right? But it did make me very happy that I was not on that kill list, and that my professor was not on that kill list, meaning that we were doing something right, right? We noticed that he was alone. We noticed that he had issues, and we actually tried to have a conversation with him. We tried to be friendly, just like a good morning is sometimes all it takes to not be on somebody's kill list. So again, where are these Christian teachers at? Even if they weren't Christian, where are these teachers at? They should be paying attention. If I, as a student, can see that another student in my classroom is distraught, is being bullied, you're going to tell me I'm supposed to believe that teachers can't pick up on that? Yeah, I'm not buying it. Or was this a case of other teenagers bullying this girl and them not doing anything because the girls had certain parents, or the girls came from money, or what? Or an even deeper part of the issue is that a lot of teachers often side with the popular kids, right? I have seen this. You know, there'll be They're living vicariously through these popular kids. It's like, bro, you're 60. You're a sick, twisted individual, a teacher that ends up being like Austin said, the ringleader of the bullying, right? And they promote it or they pretend that they don't see it. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you are a type of person that you see an issue, you see somebody being bullied, you see somebody being taken advantage of, and you don't do anything, you are worse than the person doing the bullying. You are allowing this to happen. And look, I know that I have ADHD, and a lot of us ADHD people, we have like justice, sensitivity problems, right? And I say problems in quotations because is it really a problem to actually be empathetic, to actually have higher levels of justice sensitivity compared to neurotypicals? Right? We have a strong sense of like justice, and we want to restore justice, and we don't like when other people are guilt or shamed. People with ADHD and autism actually have higher traits of this, right? So they're like, you're just too sensitive to social justice and fairness issues. But my thing is like, you're just not sensitive enough. Like, you're lacking a little bit of empathy right here, right now. So yeah, again, just a reminder, like if you are an adult and you're witnessing this happening, you better speak up or you are the problem, right? William Tardy, look, we can go into, William is asking if I think the girl had BPD. We can speculate about a whole bunch of things, right? We can say she had BPD, we could say she had ADD, we could say she was autistic, we could say a whole lot of things. We can't just diagnose her off of a shooting, right? We can't just diagnose her off of this. A lot of these kids don't even have any mental health issues, right? A lot of them are just on medications, big pharma meds that are shown to cause like anger issues and violence in children where their brains haven't been developed yet. So I'm not gonna play psychologist, and you know, it could be anything. It could be schizophrenia. It could be anything. So we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna diagnose her, right? What we are going to point out is the fact that she had access to a firearm illegally that was loaded. Who gave it to her? Was it her father? And we're going to point out the larger flaws, right, in the system, which is families that are broken up, parents that are not present, the shit that you guys don't want to hear about. We're going to talk about that because that's what matters, right? You are not going to create a sociopathic child if you love your kids, if you hug your kids, if you are present for them. The odds of them doing something like that are much more rare if you are a present, involved parent, okay? How hard is it to just like hug your kids? How hard is it to do that? And I just saw someone saying, hug your kids, Dame. Yeah, exactly. And Lisa says, also, I feel like Adderall is kind of harsh during teenage years. It does make everything more extreme because you're focusing on that emotion. When I first started making this channel, I was taking Adderall. And even for me, like a mid-40s female, right? Like, it was too much for me. I think I took it for like a month maybe. And I was like, yeah, this is not. I could feel it literally changing my brain chemistry. That's not to say that everybody's going to feel the same on it. But these medications, if this girl was taking any medication, Adderall or whatever else, right? Whatever else, if she was taking something, is there possible that there was a change in brain chemistry? And I don't take any medications whatsoever. Not even for COVID. Like, not even for COVID. I don't take anything, guys. Maybe I'm weird for that. I take teas and weird herbal remedies and hot cocoa with cayenne pepper in water. Yeah, William, you are right. We cannot judge the parents. But if this manifesto is the manifesto of Samantha, we really do need to take into account what she's saying, right? That her parents were basically alcoholics and smoked pot all day. You know? Like, that has to be taken into account. And I'm not opposed to parents, if you want to have a little drink here, fine. If you want to do whatever you want to do it away from your children. And imagine, right? You are a 15-year-old teenager. You're getting bullied at school. Teachers are not doing anything about it. You're having probably religion forced down your throat, according to the manifesto. So she didn't want to be there anyway, probably. And I didn't say the school was cheap. But just because a school is expensive doesn't mean that there's good people there. It doesn't mean that the teachers are going to be paying attention or calling out the bullying, right? I went to very expensive schools myself, right? I was very blessed that way. Not all teachers are good teachers, right? David says every chemical has a side effect. Exactly. But we can't just ignore the manifesto, right? We can't just ignore the fact that she felt as if her parents were not present. Whether they were or not, that's something else. But again, imagine you're a 15-year-old teenager. Your parents are like divorced. She said 3 times. Like, that alone can be an issue. Like, just being divorced once increases the odds of teenagers having all kinds of mental health conditions. Just being divorced once. But she mentions they were divorced multiple times. Sounds like there were a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends in the picture as well, according to the manifesto. And then she mentions the parents abusing alcohol and weed. She mentions that she's having to go 2 days here, 3 days here, 2 days here. Imagine, you're getting shifted like almost every other day during the week. Like, that's going to take a toll. And then on top of that, every time that you're shifted, now you're going to mom's, boyfriends, Brad's, whoever's, Becca's. I'm making names up here. And they don't pay attention to you. They don't ask questions. They're abusing alcohol and weed. Yeah. It's going to make a difference. So you're not in your 5 senses when you're using these substances. How would you feel if you were 15 years old and you got sent to your mom's boyfriend's house for a day? And then on top of that, you go there and he's not even in his 5 senses. He's fucking zoned out because he took God knows what. He's drunk or he smoked pot or whatever. You're like a thing being tossed here and there, right? It makes you feel unloved, right? So, American Girl says, how could the parents be present if they are zoned out? Sadly, fractured homes are the norm. They are the norm, and that's why people don't want to talk about this issue, right? They want to talk about the superficial things, like, let's ban kitchen utensils. Let's ban Ted Kaczynski's books, these manifestos. Let's ban the internet so people don't have access to the information about the Columbine shooter, so they're not brainwashed by him. How about you just parent? How about you just parent? How about you just be involved? How about you as a parent decide, you know what? You don't get to use internet unless it's right here, right? Because my parents, and I know I'm old, so it's different, right? Than like when now kids growing up. But we had a giant computer in our den. in the den was where we watched TV. So if you wanted to use the internet, you were gonna do it there. You were not gonna take your computer into your bedroom, right? And as a parent myself, I do the same thing. I do the same thing. We don't have computers and televisions in the bedrooms, right? We just don't. And some people are like, that's so old fashioned. Okay, maybe. So, and moms and dads divorce every now and then, but we know that, again, broken homes left and right, they're not helping people. So pick your partner wisely. And I always tell people, look, if you're divorced, okay, you're having a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend, don't bring them around your kids on the first week after you have met them. Okay? Are you slow? When you do this, when your children get to meet your different boyfriend / girlfriend every other week because you're switching them up because you just got divorced and you're just having fun, okay, you're ingraining this picture of people are disposable. People will come and leave every other week. They don't get a sense of a healthy relationship. And people don't want to hear that, right? I've told this to a lot of my guy friends, right? One of my guy friends got divorced. He's had like 4 girlfriends in the last 2 months. Boy, your children don't need to meet your girlfriends. Do what you do. Have whatever fun that you're doing. Don't do it around your kids, right? Unless this is a long-term love interest, there's no need for your children to see how you treat people because they might not understand all of that yet. They might not understand that you're just having fun. What they see is adults, often their parents, sleeping around with other people, being disposable, spending time with boyfriends and girlfriends versus their children, right? So I wonder if I can pull up my internet or my I wonder if I can pull up my email. From my phone. Because for some reason, I'm unable to pull messages that I sent to myself. I can pull them up. Okay, here. And I know this is a little bit of off topic, but since we're talking about school shooters not being charged for terrorist acts, but who gets charged for a terrorist act? Oh, you take out one CEO, right? You take out one CEO and it's like, oh my God, he is a terrorist. Rich people don't care about us. They don't give a damn. That's why they're doing this, to protect themselves, right? Because using Luigi and showing him to the world and saying, yeah, we're going to charge him for this. What does that do then to the rest of us Americans? That means that most of us are probably not going to try to do something stupid because, oh my God, we would never. That's a big charge. That's a big charge, right? They are scaring us. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to scare us because they are afraid. And I'm going to read some comments of some other rich people. Oh, this was a message that I saw on Threads. Somebody said, don't worry, y'all. No CEOs were harmed in this country's 83rd school shooting this year. 80 plus school shootings this year, and I'm supposed to feel bad for a CEO? You're kidding, right? Another post on Threads. What's being done to Luigi Mangione is wrong. And unpopular opinion on mental health. Depression and anxiety could be partly cured by financial stability. That's random, but probably true. Murder, sure. An act of terrorism, though? Why do you guys think that they're charging him for that, but they haven't charged any school shooter as a terrorist? Or they haven't charged United as a terrorist? Why is that when they have killed way more people with their damn implementation of AI? And speaking of rich people, I know I'm going to talk about Elon Musk because this was so disturbing to me to have to listen to. Elon Musk's mom. Look, I'm not going to lie. I used to think Elon Musk was like, okay, maybe back in the day, right? Like a decade ago, I was like, maybe he's going to do something great. Maybe. But May Musk basically said, she really said the quiet part out loud, right? What we all thought she was probably thinking of, she said it out loud. She said, the poor should have kids, so my son's factories have workers. It's basically what she said. So, in other words, these wealthy elites want us to breed slaves for them, right? And that lady, oh my God, her face is scary, right? And when you listen to Elon Musk's mother, like it isn't hard to see what is wrong with the son, right? Now we know why he eats ketamine for snacks. Okay, that whole family is chaotic. It's chaotic, right? Somebody mentioned, I told you, the rich only see us as animals to be used and discarded when we can no longer do what they want us to do. It wouldn't surprise me if they tried to start a law that make it so that people can no longer work or euthanized. That's scary, right? Scary. And I don't have a problem with money. I don't have a problem with wealth. I have a problem with billionaires treating people like dogs, like animals, like slaves. Treating people like we are disposable assets that once we can no longer work or be useful to make them money, we're worthless to them. That's the sad truth of all of this, right? Tying it back to United. And again, we're picking on United because it's on the media. But this is most corporations, right? Like, and when you end up with sociopathic narcissist like Elon Musk, it's like, you know, when you tear the family apart, you're like, okay, the dad has kids with a child that they raised. You know, you think it's not going to affect how humans turn out? Elon Musk's mother was so disgusting. You know, she basically told us like, for people who can't afford to have children, you don't have money to have children. Well, have them anyway. Have them anyway, bitch. Are you gonna pay for them? Cause right? She said, you don't have to go to the movies. You don't have to go out to dinner. Are you serious? Are you serious? So you want us to reproduce, right? When we don't have money, when the economy is as it is. And then she has the audacity to tell us, okay, you can have kids, but you don't have to go out. Just be in your home, all day long. Work home, work home. She almost could have made an ad like, work for Tesla, work for my son. That's disturbing. What is her net worth, by the way? Her net worth doesn't matter, but the fact is that she, again, is looking at us like slaves. She wants us to breed children. And if we can't afford to have them anyway. Just don't go anywhere. It's disturbing. Evil. Well, we know Elon Musk is worth $400,000 or 400 billion, I mean, $400,000. 400 billion, right? The mom is worth 20 million. So pretty impressive. Pretty impressive for a woman who's worth $20 million to tell us to have children, even if we can't afford them, right? Just make them anyway, right? You don't have to go out to the movies. You don't have to go out to dinner. It's very much giving, let them eat cake, no? You know why they're telling you to do this? Because they need breeders and a workforce. And no, not all of us have to be or can be billionaires. Somebody said because nothing can get done. I'm like, things would still get done. Not with all of us being millionaires, but pay people a livable wage. Like, so they don't have to work 2 jobs. So many people, out of curiosity, right? I have 4 degrees, like an associate's, 2 bachelors, a master's, all 4.0 because I'm a nerd. And I entered in all my education on Indeed. And you know what jobs popped up in the Chicago area for me? They're paying like $17 an hour with a master's in Chicago. Okay? William, you're skewing what we're talking about. I think maybe we're on a different brain wave. I'm talking about we don't all have to be millionaires. That's not what I said. I said pay people a livable wage, right? Somebody said Elon's mom can go fuck herself. This is a great post. Somebody said, I don't go to the movies or out to dinner. I can barely afford groceries for one person. I feel like the rich greatly overestimate what poverty is. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting for these millionaires and billionaires to tell you to keep having kids so that you could work for them, right? Okay, William is clarifying. I know my comments mainly on what Elon's mom said. Yeah, she's gross. She's gross. It is what it is. Just have babies even if you can't afford them. Are you going to donate to my fund or something? Either way, man, we totally got off topic. Oh my God, I've been here 70 minutes. Too long. Too long. I'll probably get on later. I don't promise anything. I'm wearing my coat in here because I like being hot and sweaty. I just do. Some people always ask me, like, why are you wearing a coat inside? Is your house cold? Are you poor? Maybe. But for real, I just like wearing coats. I like heavy blankets on top of me. It's so soothing. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Luigi getting charged with this. It's so stupid, in my opinion. Like, literally, one CEO gets taken out. They're spending so much money trying to protect themselves. Like, can you just spend that money on the people that, you know, you could have saved, you know, by not denying their claims? How about you spend your money there instead of investing on this major security group because you're afraid that now you're going to get shot in the back as you walk down the streets? But no, let's not do that. Let's not give to the people what they deserve, what they pay for in healthcare. Let's just hire more private security. Let's do that instead. That goes to show you how much they don't care about us, right? They don't care about us. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for hanging out, chatting with me. I know we kind of jumped all over the place today. Talking about Elon and Luigi and this 15-year-old girl in Madison who took out her classmates at Christian school. Big problems, big problems. So you guys have a wonderful day. I see you guys all saying bye in the chat. Have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. Maybe I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks for interacting with me in the chat. Bye, girls. Bye, guys.